All right, so today we're going to go over how to view some of your reporting within MX Merchant. This is through our account here. Your setup might look a little bit different than this, but just to give you a quick background, if you use MX Merchant exclusively, you know that the transactions for MX Merchant all report up here into the payments and batches. If you report processing transactions though outside of MX Merchant, so let's say you have a separate terminal, a point of sale system, something like that. Those transactions don't end up reporting up here. They just end up in the reports down here. So to show you the reports, let's click into this. There's a few different kind of reports that you have here. Again, this might look a little bit different on your side, but the three that we want to focus on here today are transactions, batches, and ACH funding. So if you think about it this way, everything starts with transactions. Those transactions each day get lumped into batches, and then those batches turn into deposits. That's kind of the flow that you're looking at here. So depending on what you want to report on, just go ahead and click into it. And this is going to show you a report of, for instance, the transactions. This is just all transactions in chronological order. So you can see, you've got your basic information on each transaction here. Some settings, if you click up here on this drop down. Now first, date, you could filter a certain date range. So if you wanted to see just today, just this week, a specific date, you can check by amounts, card types, transaction types, and apply any of these settings here. So let's say we just want to look at, say the last 30 days. I will apply that. And so, this is our test account. We don't have a lot of activity through it, but this is what it would look like. From here, this will export out to Excel. So whatever configuration you set on here, and this is true on any of the reports, come up here and click Export to Excel. This will export it out. And if you open it up this way, you've got it in Excel. So if you need to manipulate it any further, import it to another system, etc., you've got all that here. So you can export out to Excel. If you need to print the screen for any reason, this is a screen print option here. So again, this is just looking at transactions. If we go back and look at batches, that's just taking those transactions and lumping them into batches. So this is our account. Okay, so here's a day where there's 3 transactions for a penny each. So you'll see that the total batch is 3 cents. If we click into the batch report here, this will drill down and it'll show you the makeup of this batch. So you'll probably see 3 test transactions in the same card. I'm imagining in our case, yeah. So this is the batch report. And if we back up to, go back again. Another report we could look at is ACH funding. This is just strictly looking at debits and deposits to your account. So basically, the activity kind of goes from being the transactions that are all transactions, they get lumped into batches, and those batches become deposits. And you could kind of reconcile right through with that. So that's that part. Next, just to show you where you find your settings, where you find your monthly statements. So for instance, if you have, this is a month-end fee of $3.82 on our test account here. If you wanted to figure out how that was calculated, where that amount came from, you would go into account and to merchant services and then to statements. So if you click into here, this will show you each month's statement of your activity, and you could just export it out from here if you need to print it, save it, whatever, and it just shows you a summary of your activity for that month. Final thing I want to show you is notifications. So notifications are within settings and then notifications. So when we first set up MX Merchant, we'll usually set up a couple of these notifications primarily the chargeback notification. So if there's a dispute on the account, you'll get a notification email of that. We will set up a notification for your PCI expiration, which is your online annual questionnaire, security questionnaire, compliance questionnaire. And sometimes depending on what you're doing, we can set additional ones. Like for instance, we have recurring payments. So if we get a decline on a recurring payment, I want to get a notification. So to show you how the notifications work, you would click on Add Notification, select your notification type here. So let's say I want to know anytime I have a chargeback over $1, for instance. How you want to receive that: email, text, webhook is only if you're using integrations. MX Merchant notifications feed, which means it's going to pop up here on your right corner, or a browser alert, which is a pop-up alert you can get as well when you log in. And you'll just go ahead. So we'll just say we'll do an email, save, and now we've added that. So this is where you can set some notifications. Again, I suggest go through these. If you have questions, reach